Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. It is Sunday the 30th of June 2024 and I'm looking at these brand new JoyToy God of War 86 II Mechas. So Model 03 High Mobility Assault Mecha and Model 04 Heavy Firepower Defense Mecha. Both look pretty cool, and obviously it says Model 3 and 4. They have released God of War 86 II previously. I've got one next to me here which we will use for a comparison a little later as well. So let's get a look at the boxes. So the High Mobility Assault Mecha, if we look on the back, does look pretty cool. These figures look really decent. I just wish they were releasing 118 scale as well. So the figure looks good. You can see the mech looks pretty cool as well. Nice looking mecha there. And then our heavy firepower defense mecha. Again, that figure looks pretty decent coming out of the cockpit there. Does look quite nice. Okay, I'm going to box these in a second, but before that, let's have the prize draw for the Patreons to win 2 Warhammer 40k figures, again made by JoyToy. Let's have that prize draw now. Okay guys, let's have the prize draw to see who will win the JoyToy Warhammer 40k figures. We got the Blood Angels Primaris Lieutenant Tolmeron and the Ultramarines Primus Lieutenant Horatius, it looks like. I'll use Wheel of Names because I've used it before and I have got all the names plugged in already. So let's spin this wheel. Let's close the ad. I'll put a picture of the figures in the top left or the left of the screen so you see what they are. Let's spin this wheel and see which one of these lucky patrons are going to win this month's prize draw for these brand new, still sealed, even though they're probably, what, 1 year old now, 2 years old. I never got around to opening these ones. I've got more than one set. Who will win these figures? Okay, let's spin and see. So the lucky winner of these 2 JoyToy Warhammer 40k figures is going to be Matt O'Neill. Matt O'Neill, I will be contacting you in... Did you win before, Matt? You might have, I'm not sure. I'll be contacting you in Patreon and then we can sort out getting these prizes to you. Okay, congratulations once again, Matt. Congrats to the winner. Okay, let me now just unbox these and set them up. I'll be back in an instant. Okay, here they are. 2 very nice looking mechs. I prefer the one on the right, the heavy firepower defense mecha. I think it looks better, but it's got more issues than the one on the left. So, but we'll look at that in a little while. First of all, we'll look at accessories. So things that you can't see that are on them already. So this one on the left comes with this hand-to-hand combat rather big blade, and if you look at the bottom there, you can actually slide out the handle if you want. So these things got loads of, that is stiff, but that does slide out. These things got loads of possibility for chopping and changing how things fit and making your own different weapons. They're actually really good like that. What's the word? Interchangeability. So they're really, really good at those parts because this is quite a standard fit. You'll see this shape and this fit on some other things a bit later. They also come with 6 additional hands, 3 extra pairs of hands each, and they're the same, just the colors are different, but I only show one. So you'll get a right sort of semi-gripping trigger, the same on the left. You get the obligatory left and right fists, and you get a nice right gripping and left slightly more open gripping. This is the opposite what they come with default. And these hands are nice and rubbery for gripping. They don't do the jointed hands, not for a little while now. I actually prefer these ones. The jointed hands are actually quite hard to hold things. These are much easier and they grip because of the texture. And then our one on the right comes with an additional, what's the word for this? Connector. So you can connect something high up, maybe on his back. You can put maybe his big Gatling on his back or something, but there's no hand weapon for him, doesn't need this. Okay, then the figures both come with 1 pair of additional hands. So they both come with a left and right gripping hand, which is going to be really hard to focus in on because they're so small. There we go. Here. Okay. Please consider joining the Patreon link on the top right of your screen. Now, get to see all the videos before they're uploaded to YouTube or published on YouTube. Exclusive content for time to know and prize yours like the one we had earlier. It's free for 7 days, no obligation to pay or to join, so it is worth checking out. Okay, let's get a look at the figures. Close look figures. So, figure 1, very, very cool. This is 1/18 scale. In fact, they got very similar in 1/18 scale. They'll probably sell quite a lot. Nice looking figure there. 125 scale figures have improved a lot since the earlier days. The earlier days, they did a, what scale was it? Sorry, this is 127, 125. I think they did 127 earlier, and they were not that great. The hands were terrible. The hands are much improved now. Very, very nice. Then the other one, who looks amazing, if this was a 118, because of that sort of gas mask headache, whatever. I'm sure, okay, that's awesome. It's like a Killzone on PS, was it PS2 or PS3? That's what it looks like. Very PS3, I think. Very cool looking figure, and the eyes look fantastic. And yes, it does say on him and on his mech UNSC. No copyright infringement intended, I'm sure. Great looking figure. Okay, now let's get a close look at the mechs. So, I've got both the cockpits open so you can get a look inside. I was standing up, in fact, I think I'm with the camera. Let's have a look in the cockpit first of all. Let's put a bit of light in there. Lots of space in this one. It's very, very cool. And you can just close up the cockpit. Which around should be this one first, this one second. There we go. Like this. And you've got this really nice looking mech. Here, let's turn him around to the side and to the back, and then on the back you can see that he's got his little thrusters there. Look at those a bit later because they have some articulation. He also has a clip to clip things. Now, he's got a really great feature which just isn't well thought out, if that makes sense. And a great feature is here. If you look at the size of his legs, if I pick, let's pick up his arm first. If I pick this up, and it's got instructions for this, there is a hole for which I can attach the pegs. Unfortunately, this handle part goes so high. Look at where it's going to go. How am I going to attach that to that easily? Unless I do it like this way or that way. You know? They should really put that peg up there somewhere. Just plop in there would be better. So, and likewise with his gun. Let's take this out. Even on the instruction, it shows the gun. Look, there's the peg there and there. Look how high that is. You know, you're going to have that strange angle. If you look at the gun, you can see that same slot system again. So if you want, you could put like the blade on the end of his gun. So I've just slotted that out, the same system. Got the same slot system again on his ammo drum. Which way? It comes out easier one way. There we go. Which you can slide out. And again, you've got it on the back of the, there we go, of the gun, the rest there. That slides out again. So you know, there's, if you've got quite a few different JoyToy 120 scale mechas, they all tend to have the same system. You can really go to town making some unusual and strange, cool weapons. That's a nice feature. I do quite like that feature. Put his gun back there. Let's get a close look at our next one. Let's bring him in. And let's get a look inside his cockpit. Now this one, the issue is you can't open that bottom part far because that waist section. Really hard to put a figure into there, I think. You might have to just do it from the top section there, which opens. Which is a shame because it is a nice looking mech again. So if I close that, there we go. Close that. You see, it looks pretty damn cool. Has to be said. So that is one big issue with him. He doesn't have the same system on the legs for his guns, but his guns are much bigger. But what he does have really cool, have a look at that now. Again with his guns, let's take this big one out first to get a look at that. his hand came off, which is meant to happen because you can swap the hands around. Yeah. Okay, let's push that joint back in. Very cool looking gun. Again, you see the ammo drum slides out, but this looks like it's a different size fit, perhaps. This looks like it can, well, it rotates. I think it can probably come out, but I don't want to force it. The handle is just a fold down and up, which is pretty cool. The shoulder gun just slot in. This one's like a big pistol. Look at that. You can take that and hold it in his hand. You can see it again. You can slide out pieces, but these are rather stiff and tight fits. There we go. So if you want, again, you can take this part, take this front part off as well. You can take this part off there, which is another sort of a attachment or another thing for attaching other things on. You can really go out of town making your own sort of guns. And then the other one he's got in his shoulder. Check this out. This is pretty cool. Looks nice. We look on this side here, we see that this whole thing here slides out the other way, and you're left with this nice rifle here. And this probably can some way come apart. You can see he's got an extra attachment here which we haven't used yet, so you could put something else in there if you wanted to. So it's a really nice feature and system, and that does turn around, a little pin for plugging into things, but they put a specific hole in this here to fit on the shoulder, and that's in the instructions, so you know I'm not just guessing on that, which I normally do. Okay, and likewise this has got a specific hole just there. We can see this one to attach to the shoulder. So it's actually very, very well thought out in some things and not so well thought out in other things. Okay, now we're going to go through articulation. We'll do the figures first and look at the mechs later, then do a size and a quick comparison. Okay, let me just get this set up. I'll be back in an instant. Okay, figure articulation. So head, left, right, up, down, side to side. Better than I thought, to be fair. Shoulders all the way around. Lateral raise is not great because the pauldron against the vest, the webbing, the armor. Bicep bend is not quite 90. Hands rotate, and there's a joint. You've got to find where the joint is, and you can get the there you go. You can get articulation. Waist, there's no separate trunk, but the waist is a forwards, backwards, side to side, which is really good, and it can turn. Hips, pretty damn impressive. Forwards is good, backwards is not bad, to be fair. There is a thigh swivel, there is a double kneecap, nice and tight, and the feet do have a boot turn. There is a small swivel, and there's a small tippy toe and a small dorsiflexation. Pretty damn good, to be fair. I keep saying to be fair, to be fair. Be nice, as I said, if they would make these in 1/18 scale figures. The mechs, maybe not, but definitely the figures, and especially this figure. Okay, so next figure, let's get a look at his articulation. So left, right, up, down, side to side. Oh, that's so stiff. All the way around. He's not getting very far on the lateral raise at all. Bicep bend is tighter, over 90, which is great. Same hand, so it will rotate, find where the joint is, and then you can get articulated movement. Trunk is smaller because of the armor he's wearing, so he gets a lot less motion or movement. Range of motion, range of movement. Good in the hips again. Forwards is not quite as good, and backwards is about the same. Thigh twist, double kneecap, super tight. Again, you've got the boot turn, got the swivel, got the tippy toe, which is pretty decent, and a dorsiflexation. But he kind of feels like his right leg's longer than his left. Even the mech feels like his right leg's longer than his mech. And I've had a look out, set up, and I can't see what I've done wrong in the little time I've tried. Okay, let's put these figures out to the side. I'll do the articulation on the mechs now. Then after the mech articulation, I'll put figures in the cockpits. Oh, sorry, do size of figures, size of mech, then put figures in the cockpit, and then we do a comparison. Okay, so let's do a mech articulation. So this first one here. come back a little bit. So we know that this opens. We can open here, and quite it's a bit stiff now. Let's open that first. There we go. Here and here, and you've got enough space to put your figure in there. That's quite comfortable on this one. It's got a really nice little hydraulic bar system, which you can maybe make out. These little bars here, they slide in and out of the fixture. Problem is, you only go so far, then you can't get any more movement. So that is pretty cool. Let's close that. Shoulders, or rather the thrusters, they move out. They move up and down like this. They don't really go out though, which is a shame. There's a small bit of motion there was in the armour, which is separate to the actual thruster. They are going to have a bit of an effect on his shoulders. I think going around, he has to go out to the side to avoid them. Shoulders, there's a fantastic shoulder roll. To the side, you're getting not quite 90. It's a bicep swivel. The bicep bend itself is a double bicep, so it's super tight. Look at that, which is fantastic. Just feels a bit loose in that top joint there, like it's not going to hold much weight. And the armour's popped out. When it's in the box, there's the other plate that popped out. I will put it on because I want to see how it articulates with its armour, as opposed to it being bare or naked with none of its armour plates on. There we go. Hands, rotate. There is a joint. Find where the joint's lined up and it will articulate. Trunk and waist. Let's see what there is. So there is a turn, but not very far, because there's little bars moving and bending, which is quite a nice system. There is a forwards and backwards, pretty good as well, but no side to side. Hips would be a full splits. I think it was for the armour, because that's... well, I'm taking that back. That's as far as I can go. Not quite a full splits. There's a little plate on top of the hips which prevents that. Forwards and back as though would be if it wasn't for the armour plate. So that's pretty damn good. And it's quite tight, you can tell by the squeaking noises. There is a thigh swivel, which is nice. So double kneecap, super tight. And then you've got an ankle, which is a forwards and backwards, which is not tight enough, needs to be tighter. And you've got the swivel, there's no separate ankle turn. The articulation on the groom is going to be the same. It's the same basic structure, but it might have lesser range of motion because of its armour, so we will have a look at that. The legs will be the same pretty much, but the top, this cockpit part just does not open far enough. You have to open this out and bring this down to access the cockpit, but you've got too many things in the way at the bottom. I'd really be tempted to take that crutch piece off if you want to access the cockpit. So the guns, this part goes out, the guns here, or these little pods rotate. The guns go up and down from two areas. They go from the actual gun where it connects, also where that part connects. I think there's a rotate, but it's so stiff on which side? Oh, there we go. On that side, but it does rotate. These parts have their own joint. Shoulders, I would suspect, go higher on this one because this hasn't got the pauldron. Biceps with the same tightness. There's a bicep swivel. Hands is the same. Trunk backwards and forwards is not quite as big. You can turn, but again the motion smaller because that waist piece again. The hips has that same plate. You can see that plate. Let me get my little knife. That little ridge on the hips there, that's going to prevent going further than this. Forwards backers will be full splits. Double kneecap. So stiff, oh my word, the bottom part. That is not actually bending, but that's tight as you want. But that, oh, I'm telling a lie, it bends the reverse way. I'm being silly. Okay, so you can get a very good range of motion on that. That might be why his legs are seeing maybe tall to one side. I haven't got set up properly. And the feet on a swivel, and you've got the dorsiflexation tippy toe again. definitely that one is lower than that one. And I've got this leg as straight as it can be. How much straighter can you get? And it's like, what have I not got straight on this? The armor plate is jointed as well. It's just popped off there. So it's decent articulation. So next up, so wait when I stand up straight. Let's get an idea of size. The figures should be the same as each other, but I'll measure. Well, I'll put the tape measure between them when I do the size. The issue with figures this big, the figures, is that the joints are small, and you feel like it's not gonna. Well, I feel like it might break when you're trying to move things. So you might want to hot water treat everything first, or hairdryer treat everything first, just to warm up the joints and expand the plastic. Hey, why he wants to fall over? I didn't even touch him. Sniper, sniper somewhere. Okay, so let's have a look at our size. So the figures are about 3.5 inches, around about 8 cm. And the mechs are one on the left here to the very highest point is looking at 9.3, just over 9.75 inches, around about 20, just under 25 cm. And the highest point in this one is around about 10, just over 10, maybe 10.25 inches, around about 26 cm. So they are very nice. The great thing about this scale is it's easy to do things like this. Previously they released like like little ships for little androids and some other little sort of vehicles other than mechs, which are great. Wish I'd do them in 1/18 scale as well, or even do them again for this scale. That'd be nice. Okay, let's try and fit these figures in the cockpit. This one should be easy because the cockpit opens so much further. To open the cockpit, you must literally open the hatch first, all the way, then do this part, and that's as far as it goes, and then you can open the bottom part. Oh, what you can is also lean back the mech to get slightly more small space. He should be just sitting it with his legs at 90 degrees, or his legs being straight. It's a bit wide. He's a bit wide though. Well, this is one issue that JoyToy have had with the 1/18 scale mechs, is they made the cockpits too small. For their figures, and this one I won't say it's too. That is not really closed, but it's good enough. So it's that same old issue. Let's make something, and then we design the figure after. Really, or rather, what they should be doing is designing the cockpit around the figure, not designing the mech, and then so that figure's semi-stuck in. Then designing the figure after. Always start with your figure, sort of. Something's gonna pop off in a minute. His arm probably. Oh no, there we go. I need just to cut his shoulder and take him out. The other one, I forgot to mention, the other one's got a shoulder roll too. It's gonna be much more difficult because that cockpit does not open far. So I'll have a quick look. I'm not sure I want to take a long time trying it though. So you've got to turn these out. Open hatch as far as you can. Top part only goes that far, bottom part only goes that far. And if I grab the figure, I am not going to attempt to stick him in because that's just not a lot of space. Okay, let me just close that. Should be this next, then that, and that. And what I'll do, I'll make a little bit of space between the two. And I won't stand the figures up, but I will get the, let's make that a bit straighter. The other God of War 86-2, one that I've got nearby to put in the middle, and they're the same basic mechs, but you get an idea of how they look with each other. Very cool. Nice mechs. Some things super well thought out, other things not so well thought out. Again, the cockpits are the issue, but you know, I do like them. I think it's a nice line. Having said that, I'll probably be selling these sometime soon for cheap. If you're interested, you can drop me a message in Instagram. Look for Awesome Action Toys. Okay, I will see you next video soon. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye.